In the canyons of Wall Street, they say the men are kings. But in the penthouses overlooking the city, the queens truly run the empire. They call us the wives of Wall Street. We wear their fortunes like armor. But this glittering world is a golden cage, and every cage has a door. Mine is about to swing wide open. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. My husband built this empire on secrets, but he forgot that I was the one who decorated the rooms where he kept them. The safe didn't hold cash or jewels, but something far more valuable, a single key. It wasn't to a property or a car. It was to a life I was never meant to see. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. The key led me away from the glamour of the Upper East Side to a place where fortunes go to die. There was no inheritance, no hidden wealth. Inside the box was a folder, and inside the folder, a name. Not a business rival or a mistress, but another wife, Serafina. Why was he watching her? Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. Serafina's perfect smile never faltered, but her eyes turned to ice. Our husbands called each other friends, partners. But this file told a different story, one of surveillance and distrust. I had her life in my hands, and she had the answers I needed. An alliance was formed, sealed with a silent understanding. We were no longer just wives, we were players. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. The art of being a Wall Street wife is smiling when you want to scream. Damien noticed the change in me, the new fire behind my eyes. He pressed gently at first for answers I couldn't give. So I gave him the one thing he always believed, a perfect lie, served on a silver platter. But I knew my time was running out. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. The next piece of the puzzle came from Serafina. Her husband wasn't Damien's partner. He was his scapegoat. Damien was building a house of cards, and when it fell, Serafina's husband would be the one buried underneath. My husband wasn't just a shark, he was a cannibal, ready to devour his own. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. He never raised his voice. He didn't have to. He reminded me of the life he'd given me, the world he could take away. He told me loyalty was the most precious asset a man could have. It wasn't advice, it was a threat, cold and sharp as the diamonds against my skin. He knew I was digging. Now he was daring me to continue. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. Fear is a luxury we could no longer afford. If his world was built on secrets, we would be the ones to tear it down with the truth. The annual shareholders gala was in 2 days. He planned to announce his greatest triumph. We planned to announce his downfall. It was time for the queens to make their move. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. He stood on that stage, a king addressing his court, completely unaware the guillotine was about to drop. We didn't need to say a word. The evidence spoke for itself, projected for the whole world to see. In the silence that followed the gasps, I met his gaze from across the room. Checkmate. Subscribe to You Travel 101. The next story will surprise you. They say Wall Street has no memory, but they will remember this. They will remember the wives who refused to be trophies. He lost his empire. I lost a cage. From the ashes of his kingdom, I would build my own. And this time, I would be the one who holds all the keys.